Hello everyone, welcome back to the Weekly Recruit. I am Clancy with my normal host Enders, who is on his phone. Say hi.
Yeet.
There he is. And then our two guests today, one from Hellfire and one from Aviary, my team. We have Colin.
What up?
And respectively from AVI, we have my team captain and possibly best IGL in Recruit. Say that, given the record. Noah.
What's up? Best idea, baby.
We all may or may not be under the influence of certain illicit substances. Well, I shouldn't say illicit.
Mine's
they're not illegal.
illicit.
Yeah.
Mine's not.
For legal
Mine's
reasons, I'm drinking Coke.
For legal
reasons.
reasons,
No,
I'm an
I don't
adult
condemn.
and I can do what I want. There you go.
For legal reasons, I am prescribed painkillers for post-surgery, so
My
fuck you.
21st birthday's in 3 weeks. Cut me a break.
God damn. For legal reasons, I'm a fully able adult and I will not drive through a residential neighborhood going 60 miles per hour.
This man's gonna kiss a tree at 120 if he loses one more match.
God damn it. No, speaking of, after the match, you know when I left the fucking call, Noah?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. You went to break your
Brother,
keyboard?
I have a...
No, I actually did not rage. I just sort of sat there in silence for a minute.
I will say, I have a screenshot here of post-match, and Clancy's not in it. That's how quickly you left the match.
Oh yeah,
is true.
literally. I just straight up disconnected immediately. The second they got that last kill, I just instantly just like fucking open console.
So Clancy, how many kills do you have? How many kills did you have so I can fill out this screenshot in my head?
I don't remember.
Clancy, that's the sound of a man who got like 9 kills.
I would say
No,
no. I
second
didn't get
round.
9 kills. I was doing really well. I was just sort of, you know,
It was 10.
it's hot. I got double digits. I got 10, guys. No, I think it was like 16.
you were-
Maybe.
That's almost the
it.
same level as me saying I'm
Yeah.
undefeated. I got 10 kills. I got double-digit kills. Yeah, and I'm undefeated. Get used to it.
Yeah, you also don't have a working wrist. Shut up.
Shut, brother. At least you're not saying you're gonna break my other arm. Like my arm's broken. Get it fucking right. Hey, Slatong, I see you over there in recruit chat. I'm not on the bench. I'm on the IR. Fuck you, me. Fight me.
I'm gonna tear your under tendons.
I'll still beat your ass with one wrist. Pop in a boxing ring. Recruit boxing. Get in here.
Recruit
CSC
boxing.
Let's
We're
go.
gonna fucking pull a KSI versus Logan Paul and start boxing.
CSC boxing. CSC boxing. Let's
boxing
go.
during the
I
offseason.
got dibs on Sentinel, and then I want Slatong after I beat Sentinel up.
Jesus. Speaking of your broken wrist, you want to talk about your show of the week in the corner over there?
Yeah, we will. This week it's gonna be Ted Lasso. It's a great It's a great show. It's got 3 great seasons. It's on Apple TV. If you don't have Apple products, get fucked. But definitely
you're
get
poor-
Apple TV. Whores, where's your Bugatti? What color's your iPhone? Get Apple TV. It's a wonderful show. It's really funny. It's been something I've watched. I watched the entire first season yesterday post surgery. So that's been kind of what's been going on with me post surgery and everything. We're hoping my recovery will happen soon enough that I'll be able to come back in time for playoffs.
All right. That's
Godspeed.
Let's go. 1 remains in terms of undefeated, and then 1 remains in terms of not yet had a victory.
I mean, yeah, we've gotten a lot more teams in the middle now.
Yeah.
I will say there are 6 players currently undefeated on the season.
Shut up. No, you're not gonna fucking keep bringing back that you're undefeated.
I'm sorry, I haven't played the
You've
match
played,
I've lost during the regular season.
1 game?
2.
2?
I'm sorry. I beat AP, and then I went and beat Hellfire.
You didn't beat that Volkswagen Jetta, okay? You didn't beat that. Therefore, quiet.
Lost that rock, paper, scissors.
Somebody right now post a picture of
Rock,
Jesse
paper,
from Fast and
scissors.
somebody, Clancy, you're editing this. Post a picture of Jesse's Jetta from the first Fast and Furious movie. Do that now. That's the card that hit me, everybody. Totally.
Yep.
I'm about to get all that Universal money.
Yep. And also the Nate slander has to end because
they've won 2 matches.
13-10
wins.
Back-to-back dubs. I can't get upset at them. I can't say
really
their shit
quick.
Anymore. But you know who
did they drop?
They beat Surrey. They beat AP.
No, I'm not asking that. They dropped Bismal and they picked up Tillicum.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
they did make a roster move, and they've won
I will
twice.
say, I wish we had stats so I could see how Tillicum's doing, but it definitely seems right now that was a good move. And I mean, what did we say last time we had recorded? There's these teams need to make moves to improve, and well, we see that obviously Nan is improving, and the other team we were talking about hasn't.
Shut.
Cow.
Shut. Oh,
Sentinel.
you're talking about Cal.
Sentinel.
Oh, I thought you were talking about another team.
Those 2 teams.
I thought you were talking about another team named after an animal.
No, I think right now, and this is from where I'm sitting on IR, that currently there's what now 5 teams. Well, the 4 teams are not going to make playoffs.
Yeah, 4 teams. The bottom 4 are not going to make it.
I think 2 teams in the bottom 4 currently, as they stand standings wise, 2 of those teams have just gotten unlucky with the pools, like what they've had, the maps they played, and I think we can cast some blame on those teams for the maps they've played. I do think, however, and Colin, I know you're not allowed to talk about it, but I mean, the Brian drop obviously hasn't worked out so far.
Yeah, we're working through it. We'll get over it. We'll figure something out.
You know, it's still pretty early into the season here, Andres. You know,
a
lot of
we're not halfway through. That's the thing.
But I'm just saying, so far as it sits, currently the Brian drop obviously hasn't worked. I think that AVI needs to make some adjustments to maps they're picking, because it seems like they're getting into a lot of situations where their last 2 maps are maps they're not confident on. We saw that match day 3, I think, where they ended up. It was down to, I think it was Overpass. No, it was Vertigo and Ancient.
Yeah.
And like Clancy said on that episode, it's not 2 maps you're happy to play. I think you guys, your adjustment needs to be in your bans. No offense, Noah. I know I've said before you're great at GL, but
I will retcon that. I will retcon my previous statement. We're not as confident on Ancient, but we're still confident enough to where we can win on Ancient. Is the thing.
I will say, just to second Clancy here to kind of, protect my team out there. But in the past 2 games that we have had a roster switch, but along with also sub. For 3 of our matches, we've had a sub jump in, which fortunately, our subs are still able to keep the structure and play well, right? But you do have to also remember that, this is match day 5 now, so a lot of these teams who haven't had to have subs are just at a straight advantage because of the constant games.
I will also say, I think it's a testament to your IGLing ability that your subs have been able to come in and keep the culture and keep the structure you've built. I think that says a lot about how you're able to adjust to having subs. I just think that seeing some of the maps you guys have played, that maybe you guys need to rethink some of your pick bans.
Well, you know what?
And
I don't think
I will. You could say that, and you know what? We can keep that on record and keep having these teams. Okay, keep having these teams think that we're losing on these maps because we're not confident.
Hey guys, we're shit on Anubis.
No. I know you're not, but we'll play with that. I think that.
No, absolutely.
I think that a lot of the matches that have been played in maps in this season have been a little unorthodox for a regular season, especially for one that it's a fresh game, right? Yeah. I definitely thought going into match day 2 with the CS2 change that there was going to be a lot more puggy style, but it seems like there's a lot of teams out there who are keeping with their guns from CSGO practice and playing the little unorthodox maps, which I think is good. And that's kind of where the not expecting what they really know. There's a lot of teams, a lot of good teams, a lot of team play that's going on these maybe not usual maps that you would play in a pug environment. So, I mean, that just goes down to kudos to those players picking up the maps, especially even with the CS2 changes. So it's just something that we just have to adjust to, just like all the other teams are adjusting to.
Yeah, I mean CS2 has been a big change. It just seems like a lot of maps. There's some maps where like you can see overpass. A lot of the B site utils kind of changed because not a lot of the lineups are the same. But like Ancient has mostly been unchanged. Mirage has been mostly unchanged. Like these maps we're seeing a lot of have remained unchanged. To talk about really quick, because you brought up you had a player change. I mean, I haven't had to go through. I obviously didn't get to play Servals when that being the first match I got hurt for. I have to ask, how bad does it feel that your previous player goes out and on the revenge tour drops a 19 on?
Speaking of our previous player, hello, Brass. Welcome to the
I
channel.
mean, I don't
How
even-
is it going?
Hello, Brass. Welcome to the channel.
Can
I don't even.
Can I get some breaking news here now that he's here? Recruit.
I think you have to
Hellfire.
wait. You have to wait.
I don't think so.
It has to be official. I asked.
Yep.
No.
I mean, to be fair, the weekly recruit at one point did accidentally leak the minus.
Well, you know, this won't be
recruit.
uploaded until.
This
Tomorrow,
won't be
or
uploaded
tonight.
until later near
I think
5
we're good.
o'clock. Yeah.
So
think we're good.
technically.
All right.
okay,
Well,
yeah.
breaking news
Well,
from
I mean-
Hellfire recruit.
Yeah. I have
Brass-
officially signed with them.
Brass,
Congratulations.
I am
Thank you.
very
I'm-
glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I knew. Listen,
I mean-
and I'll even say this to go with your answer, right, Enders? Right?
Mhm.
There should be. I wouldn't even say it's a revenge tour, right? I mean, at least in my opinion, on my side, there is no bad blood between Brass or I or Brass.
I don't know.
That's
He
true.
said Rip
That is
Bozo
true.
on that one round where he stopped my fucking clutch.
No. That was just doing saying that.
And Brass is still a fantastic player. I could say that on the podcast, say that off the podcast. Brass knows that. Okay. And there is absolutely no hate. Okay. Players are good regardless. I mean, I picked them up for a reason. Let's keep that on the record. Right. People have good games. Everyone
Over
does.
me.
I'm happy Brass was able to play out, and it very showed. And it was a good game for him.
Enders, you
Right.
don't have a wrist. Shut up.
So
Look,
and Colin,
I had a risk when you
congrats.
picked Brass over me.
All I gotta say now that Brass is signed with Hellfire is Hellfire's coming. We're here and
I'm
we're
He's
ready.
coming.
coming.
We're coming.
I
I mean-
mean, we thought that
I-
match day two. We
I
thought that
haven't
match
said
day
it-
two, but we
I
screwed
haven't
that
said
end
it.
up.
I haven't said it in a few weeks, but now that Brass Biscuit is officially signed to Hellfire, I can confidently
gotta
say
ask.
this coming Thursday.
I gotta
it's
also
YT.
ask who.
Actually, you're not
Who'd
coming.
you
You're not
drop?
coming Thursday. You're not
Oh,
coming
yeah.
Thursday.
Who did you
that's right.
drop?
Who did you
Yeah.
drop, or did you just have
we'll-
subs?
We'll let you
You
guys see
can't.
that tomorrow.
You have
when we go
to-
through
All right.
transactions.
Let's take
We're
the odds.
dropping
I
Colin.
think it's going to be Azor. I think it's Azor. No offense. I don't think you're dropping the new guy you just picked up. That would
I'm
seem
not saying
very.
yes to anything. I'm not saying no to anything.
No. You don't have to. This is purely Ender speculation here. A guy who has history with both AVI and Hellfire. My history with Hellfire very known, but my history with AVI not so much. I've been told by sources that it was possible I could have been picked up by AVI when I got dropped. That's really funny that you're laughing, Noah, because the person who told me that's in this podcast right now.
What was that? I didn't
That's
say
great.
anything.
I was on the short list of people once AVI, I think it was match day 3 for the preseason.
You want me to break your heart,
They were
Enders?
looking. Shut the fuck up, Clancy. Let me
Okay.
finish. Look, I mean, I can say this. It's very stupid for you guys to go drop Boshy Benz so close after picking him up. Brass Biscuit looks like he's going to be a great pickup if he can keep on this 19 a night train. If he can, that's a very good pickup. I don't know how Azor's been playing because, of course, we don't have stats.
Sitting in the fucking rat angle. I'm still mad. I'm mad about
Just
that
be
one
mad you
specific
lost.
round.
Just be mad that you lost.
I'm coping
Sorry,
over
I
that
can't
one
hear you. I
round.
can't hear you down there in the 1 and 4 section.
Hi,
speak up a
Colin. Do
little
you
bit.
like being down here?
With Brass Biscuit, we won't be down there
Yeah.
much longer.
Yeah, wait a
So
minute.
don't
Brass
worry
is
about
on Hellfire, therefore he's also down there. Hi, Brass. How are
it.
you?
You can't. No, you can't throw him into a mess and say he's a part of it.
Nah,
mean,
he's
look,
part
here's
of
the
this.
thing.
He's
I
part
will
of
He's
the
a
say-
part of a brand
will
new
say-
Hellfire.
Here's what's funny. Brass is the only player besides me to win 2 games. So I mean, me and Brass.
Wait a minute. Yeah, shit, you're right.
Brass, how could you
You're
actually
actually right. Fuck.
Personally,
Ignore Clancy. Ignore Clancy.
too.
Ignore the other 4 lost teams. We're right now talking 2 wins, 2 win players. How's it feel, buddy?
That was
Finally
great.
get back in the win column.
And you know what? Speaking about the revenge tour thing, though, in the scrim, I played against Mist, the team who drafted me.
You did, Brass?
We
fucking...
whipped them 13-8.
Oh my
Today
god.
was
He
a
really
revenge
went on that
tour,
fucking
Brass.
tour.
Yeah.
It sounds like Brad
Hey,
is just the slayer of giants here, and he's gonna take
Look,
Hellfire and bring it
No,
with
I
him.
will say this. Brass, you keep posting the ass biscuit edit you made, and like I said in chat, keep your head
I
up.
fucking love that edit.
There was a reason.
It's a meme.
There's a reason you got
meme.
picked up. I know it's a meme, but you kept your head up, and obviously now you're joining Hellfire so soon after getting dropped. I mean, congrats, you basically just cleared waivers.
Just wait in 2 weeks when I get dropped from Hellfire, and then it's ass biscuit again.
just wait. He's gonna make it. He's gonna make eventually to where he's been to every team, and he's gonna have
Yeah,
Spidey.
He's on that
Or-
tour. Was
At
it?
this point, Brass, you should just message Spidey and be like, "Can I get a sticker?"
I was
in
literally
every
just
team.
I was debating on just asking him if I could just get all the backdrops to it so I can just make it myself.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
It'd
might as
save a
well.
lot of
No
time.
offense, it would. I thought about doing that when I got dropped by Sava, and before I got picked up, I was just about to be like, "Cool, I'm about to ask him if he can just start sending me the team backgrounds with my logo."
God damn it. That fucking I'm still having that rat ankle PTSD in my brain.
God.
You
Which
see
one?
3
Which
of
one?
your teammates drop in front of you
Which
and I
one?
clear an ankle and he's just sitting along the
I mean,
wall.
that's the thing. I mean, no offense, Brass. I don't want to assume your position, but that seems like a very lurker style of play, something I enjoy a lot of.
Hey,
and
lurk-
Yeah, I
and
like
that
to
you kind of have to
be a
have.
little relaxed.
You
I
kind of
don't
have to
remember
have.
was it on
Ice
B when it
Spear.
was you and Noah just peeking out? Or...
No, that was on A when I was the last one alive. I show up with an M4, I shoot somebody, right?
Yeah.
I kill the opera, I fucking
Yeah.
one tap the guy who is I don't know that water spot. I don't know
Yeah,
what that
I mean,
name
I was
is.
just behind him basically, and I just
Yeah,
I
you
think I
little
had to
fucking
reload,
rat.
so I had to wait. I
You
think I had to
little
reload.
fucking rat.
I mean, I will say I hate the term rat angle because it feels very lurker spot. You know, you kind of have to
I
have
mean,
ice in
hey,
your veins.
lurkers can be very benefit. I used to lurk all the fucking time, and that would win
I
games
mean,
alone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have spots on maps where I just call them bitch. Like there are certain corners, so like Mirage B site that jump
fucking
angle,
jump
that
angle,
boost,
yeah.
the boost on B site, I call that bitch. I mean,
I'm pretty sure
that was a
never
good, that was a good play.
But in my head, I don't even call it like, oh, he's in a bitch spot. I just call it bitch because that's what I've always called it. You know,
Say
if somebody's
bitch.
in one of those angles where it's hard to get like Shroud on cash, that would be bitch for me. Before I knew it was Shroud, I called it bitch. Just because it's up and you have to have like multiple people help you, or for whatever reason. I just go, he's bitch, rather than going, oh, he's catwalk A. It's like, it's
I remember
short
my-
to the point.
Speaking of funny call out names, I remember when I played in front of my grandmother, I would call like hell, like you know hell's on multiple maps.
Yeah,
I would
heaven,
call
hell, yeah.
them. I would call them almost heaven, as in the John Denver song.
Almost heaven.
Yeah.
West Virginia. They're heck.
They're heck. Yeah. Yeah, because my grandmother.
HE double
didn't-
hockey sticks.
Yeah, HE double hockey sticks. He's double hockey sticks, guys. Yeah, my
We're setting the
grandmother
precedent.
didn't like
That's
it.
what it's gonna be called now.
I
from
mean-
now on.
This has now sort of become Ender's the IR guy, along with a fight between AVI and Hellfire. This podcast has kind of become.
No, we're buddies. AVI and Hell are buddies.
Yeah, we're buddies
I mean,
down
you guys
here,
have already
1 and
played
4.
now.
Colin and me, we go way back. You know,
Yeah,
it's just
way back to match
part
day
of our
1.
nature. No,
Yeah,
way
I
back
mean,
to
so-
last season.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
shit, that's right.
You know,
So, I mean, obviously, we're starting to see that IEM Dallas is coming up. I mean, it's what, Sydney, then Dallas is the IEM schedule, correct?
I think it's Sydney, Katowice, and then Dallas, because I know Katowice.
No, I think it's Dallas, then Katowice.
Really? When's Dallas?
It might be. I could be wrong. Dallas is like next year early, like March next year. May.
No, Katowice
May.
is earlier. It's in February.
But
Okay.
who's going
So, I
to
mean, obviously-
Philadelphia?
I'll
So
be in Dallas.
That's the real question.
Dallas is coming up, and I mean, I know it's kind of far away, but it's close enough that we can go ahead and talk about this. There has been some talk about possible weekly recruit. Clay says more for me and you. Possible weekly recruit live or in video form from Dallas.
I'm gonna have a
I just want to
whiteboard.
get your question. I just want to ask if that's something you have thought about. No, it's something I have.
I don't think that far out. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay, so we'll revisit this in
We'll
a
revisit
month
this.
from Dallas. We'll revisit this a month from Dallas, and Clay's like, oh my god, I don't have time.
I'll go on a limb. I don't care.
That is a conversation we do need to have post podcast, Clancy, because that's something I need to start looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a conversation we need to have post podcast. Whether I can fly from Ohio to fucking Dallas. That's much easier than
I
trying
could
to
drive from
Ohio to Dallas.
Florida to Dallas. It's not that hard.
Road trip.
He's not very good at driving.
I'll just pack a carry-on. Take a flight that has a connecting in fucking Orlando, and just me and Clancy film the recruit on the road.
Honest to God, I would rather you fly into Tampa, because if you fly into Orlando, because if you fly into Orlando and then you walk out the Orlando International Airport, you'll be hit with a wave of humidity you never ever felt in your life.
I would pick you up. I'll pick you up.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care. I just want a road trip with some recruit boys to fucking Dallas.
Let's go. We're gonna go to
We'll get an
Dallas.
Airbnb. We'll get an Airbnb close to the fucking venue.
Yeah, drive up the 75, and just and
A
chillax all
3-bedroom
good.
Airbnb.
Yeah.
Me, Clancy, and Noah all chilling.
3-bedroom question mark.
Yeah, I mean,
We're all just
we need
gonna
just
share.
one big ass bed. One big ass bed. Me, Clancy, and Noah.
Yeah, that's how
cuddling.
professional teams sleep, right? They all sleep together. They hug together.
That's why they're so good.
Yeah.
That's why they're so good. They're snuggling on a
They're
nightly
snuggling.
basis.
That's why
Their brains are
we're 1-4.
close together, therefore they're sharing
Speaking of
thoughts.
who's not so good, let's talk about this number 12. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess
Oh,
we
we
can
wanna
start talking
kick
about
it
power
off?
rankings.
Just put him
All
in.
right.
I think we already.
Cow.
Look.
Got
Let me handle this. Since people are gonna want a bit of cow explanation, I mean,
Yeah.
throw the meal out there, Clancy.
Oh, are we just
You
straight
still
up
haven't
putting
won a
cow?
game. You haven't won a game. You won one round against UPS after you talk all that shit about, oh, we have a plan. In fact, in the description of this video, I will send you a link that I want put in this. At this point in the video, pause, go down to the description. There's a link to a YouTube video. Go watch it. It'll explain pretty much in general on why Cal deserves to be at 12. Cool, that's all the description we need to give. Also, Sentinel, please get better. Your team deserves to actually win a game. Get some better calls. Make some changes.
Let's go ahead and preface this, right? Because Sentinel was a guy that no. I'm gonna give him a little benefit of the doubt, right? Because every team does deserve it, and this is a team that I'm not even on, so I'm gonna fight for it, right? Their first 4 games could arguably be 4 of the tougher teams in the tier, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you really do look on it just on paper, right? As well as I have heard from some rumors that Cal is in the midst of making some changes. Now, I don't know if that's in terms of roster.
They need to hurry up
or in terms of roles, and I do agree with you, Anders. But I do think just that I think if you really just look on paper, I think that they have the potential to become something. But if you look at over 5 match days, having 32 rounds under your belt, it's a tough stat line, right? Not being able to break those double digits in a game is pretty tough. But I think that they're right on the cusp, and I think if they kick it in gear for the later half of the season, there is a lot of season left to play. I think they could make something, but I think the 12th spot is only fitting for them to fill in there because they're
the only no-win team.
Right. Yep. It would not be fair to the other teams that are fighting for the bottom half to have that spot not go to Cal.
Yeah, Cal's kind of unlucky because their first match was against Mist. Their second match was against Tadpole. Their third match was against Spaghetti. Fourth match, Scurvy. And then their fifth match against Harpies. So they arguably had the worst start to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean,
At least
especially
the
those
first three. Yeah, those first three.
You got to think about this from a mental standpoint, right? Right. If you're getting in there and you just lose the first three, it's going to take a lot to try to come out of that, and that just goes to show the mental fortitude that the 5 players have, right? And I will say the fact that they all have stuck with it does show to me that they do have something cooking up. But like Ender said, it's kind of a make or break time, right? If we get into match day 6 and that becomes another loss, it's going to be very difficult for them to try to come out of the ashes. So they really do have to kick it in gear here, which if we do look at their next game, it is against Sav, right? Who I think Sav is kind of in the higher middle pack of the tier. I think that if they can pull that out, it'd be a huge upset. And the benefit of being the 0-5 team, right, being the 12th spot, is they have zero pressure. You know, if they lose, no opinions changed. If they win, now everyone's on their side. You know what I mean? Everyone's rooting for the underdog.
I mean,
They got to pull out that villain shit.
I'm not really rooting for Sentinel after the meme. I mean, if you're gonna prove I live rent free in your head, talk all that shit. I mean, at least win more than one round against UPS. Post all that, like, please, for everybody, including yourself.
God damn, going in.
Anders is just here for the cow.
He's here
hate.
for the chaos. He's here for it.
Well, Anders, with your
Does he want the beef?
with
the beef?
I mean, I do want the beef. I mean,
Arby's.
here's the thing. Here's my thing: is Sentinel is gonna. Sentinel has proven that I live rent free in his head. I mean, I might as well act as more, because obviously it's not enough that it's acting as or acting as fuel to fire him up. It's not working. So if I go even harder on him, eventually at one of these points, because Sentinel is somebody I enjoy being around. At least preseason, he was great, and he's chill when he's not around Posk. He's chill, and he needs. I don't know what he needs, if it's to fire him up, and I want him to do better because I know he can, and he needs to. He needs to prove that this is all just something in the team. They need to make a move, and if Sentinel's going to be the IGL there, he's going to be the IGL. He can't move. We don't have enough IGLs in the recruit tier for him to move. So if it's not an IGL calling situation, it's not him fragging. Look at what your problem is on your team. You're not winning. So what's the problem? Fix it. Get a different player. Get somebody else in there. There's plenty of good recruit free agents because there's an influx of talent in recruit for you to be winless with only 38 rounds.
Yeah, with a 36 round
You're not losing. You're not losing close games. You're not winning. You're not losing close games. You're not in close games. What's the issue that you're not in close games?
Yeah, none of their games have been close. 7-16, 13-8. If I can
Most
find it, 1-13, 13-8, and then another 13-8. That's a lot of rounds. That some of them are better than others. Some of them are worse. Match day 3. But yeah,
you gotta think too. I mean, I feel like for Cal in particular, right? And I wouldn't even say that this is even for Hellfire, right? But coming into the tier with Cal and Hellfire being new teams into the tier, Hell kind of gets a benefit here with Colin because he does have the experience from last season. Cal has a fresh DE set of team, right?
Yeah.
Every other team in the tier has at least one keeper from the last season. And being in a team play CS environment for even a season, or in Colin's case, subbing a lot last season, you learn so much. And to have that not be on a team and have 5 DEs, it's very tough. I think Sentinel has the calling in him, but I think that Sentinel needs to make a change, and I think he can frag and call. And I think that if he pivots to a direction of putting himself in those star player roles, he can make something happen. But like Enders was saying, is it too little, too late?
I mean,
It's gonna be interesting to see.
I hope the poison hasn't run deep enough to where whatever change they make doesn't fix it. Because legitimately, I mean, we can talk all the shit we want on Cal, and I have, but Sentinel is chill. Fucking Sapphire is chill. I mean, who else they have on their team? Because my brain's shorting out.
Seagull.
Fucking
Little
amazing.
pancake.
Seagull is chill. Who's the other player?
Weelo
Let me look,
pancake.
because I'm forgetting.
Other one.
E-Rock.
Oh, E-Rock.
E-Rock was
E-Rock's
funny as fuck
scary.
in the preseason. He's chill. That's about all the nice stuff I can talk on Cal. I think there's a poison in that team, and I can be wrong because we don't have stats. But I mean, no offense to Wee Little Pancake, but that's currently the issue I'm looking at with Cal.
Yeah.
Is toxicity from within that team by Pancake
Oh.
and Weelo Pancake. If everybody else on that team is chill and you got one player being toxic, cut the fucking arm off before it infects the entire body. Amputate
go cut off your arm.
before. No, but my point remains: if you have gangrene in your foot, you're not going to let it just spread to the rest of the body. You're going to cut your foot off.
Yeah, you heard that, Cal.
Otherwise
Cut
it'll
off all
kill
of
you.
your feet. For
But like my
Hender's
point
success.
remains: cut off the fucking toxic person. If that's the person that's causing you the most damage, even if they're fragging out, one toxic person can ruin the entire team just because nobody else feels good. And this is a fucking beer league. We can call it everything we want, but this is a fucking beer league. And if you're not having fun, you're not performing.
All right, well, what are we thinking for this 11? I think there's a lot of teams that can fit into here.
So 11
I've
right
got
now.
us. I've got hell. I've got us.
Oh, really?
I would like to say somebody else because
Oh,
you can talk all the
a
shit you want
little
on hell. but no
self-deprecating.
offense. Yeah, sure, it's self-deprecating. I would personally, I think AP would be the team I put to 11.
Well, they do have a game without, right? Like,
Yeah,
They do have a game without. That game is also against Servals.
yeah.
I mean, not much is going to change with that, at least where I have Servals.
do you go in assuming that AP loses that game? Because I agree that I think AP loses that game.
I don't agree that they lose that game. I think that game's just close. I think right now, and this is no shot to my boys at Servals. I don't want to ever send shots at my boys at Servals. And the female over there, no shot, Toad. My bad. I sometimes forget that. Basically, I don't want to send shots to my friends over at Servals. I think Servals right now are punching above their fucking weight. I think they're peaking way too early. I think, yes, I've said before that team is good, but I don't think they're right now 3-1 good.
I mean,
I
what's
think
their
Servals actually pretty fucking
record?
good.
Is their record 3-1?
Their record's
3-0.
3-1.
I mean,
3-1.
that's
I'm
still
not
3
counting
wins
the
they
Seagull Scout.
got. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. That's 3 wins that they legitimately won.
Those
That's
are all
not-
CS2 wins
Yes,
too.
yes. Once again, we can say, and yes, they did win it. But my point is, I think they're peaking way too early into the season.
Yeah, and I think like Enders was saying with a lot of these standings, right? It's going to be really tough to get an accurate depiction without these stats. So we're kind of just going based off the people that have played against them.
So,
and I mean,
just to be clear, match day 2 we have yet to see Serval. Match day 3 they beat Atlantis on overpass which is they're missing 3 people there.
Yeah.
No, they're missing 2. They're missing, which we've said last episode. They missed Crash and they missed me. Crash being
Match day 4.
Really quick.
Yep.
Match day 3, they missed Crash, who is their highest MMR player, I think, and me, who is just a hype man, which fair enough. Unless no, wait. Match day 3. I think
that was the one we
missed Bud. I think that was Bud because match day 4 they missed Crash. Okay, match day 3 they missed Bud, which once again we can say all the shit we want on me being ass. Budweiser Cranker is the star fragger on that team. You know, match day 4. Who did they play? They played. Okay, Servals played Hell, and then Servals played Yokai Cafe today.
With the same
but to go
score,
back and
5
look
to
at it,
13 for both.
yeah. So, but here's the thing. Also, AP 13-5 against Yokai. They beat. Where the fuck is? They beat Cal 13-8. So now that I'm looking at the score, I'm starting to see, AP 13-10 to Nan. It's looking a lot like AP is. I mean, their only win is against Cal, which is the 12th spot.
I feel like
I think
I have us at 11 just because we're not a bad team. We just don't have stuff figured out yet. Like we just got a new
Well, I mean-
player. I feel like once we get it going, we'll start moving up a little bit and like just inch by inch. But I think as of right now, we just don't have stuff figured out, and that's why I'm putting us down there so low.
And plus, this is only
I
match day
think-
5 power ranking. It's not future projections, anyways.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, my thing is just AP right now. Their only win is against Cal. Whereas
will
you
say
guys,
this,
even though I know you don't want to talk about Go, you guys did beat API, which is
Yeah, but it's Go and 2 are just they're two completely different games.
I know they're
Yes.
two completely different games, but they're similar
will-
enough that we should, and it's also in the same season. Let's not act like this is season 13 we're talking about now. Go was season 12.
I mean,
It's still the same season, so we still have to take that. I mean, the games still do count against record,
Yeah,
so
my
we do
opinion,
have to take those
Colin-
into consideration.
In my opinion, Colin, I think that the explanation of AP being in 11 and then you being in 10 makes the most sense. Yes, AP doesn't have the fourth game played, right? So technically, I guess round percentage, they do have it slightly higher than yours. But you also have to look that because they don't have a fourth game, it's going to be a little skewed.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think that you guys have the fundamentals of the good team, and the one game that AP did win, Colty went absolutely off. Right, everyone's got good games. I think out of the 6 games that get played in a match, I think that there's going to be one person on every team that's going to have a really good game, and you
Yeah.
can't really bank on that to decide a power ranking. Now, I think because I put us Aviary also in between that 9 or 10 spot. I mean, in my opinion, if we really did look at it from straight how it is, I would say we're 10 and that you
I had
are
you guys
9.
above us. I had you guys.
I'll
above
be
us from the
honest
start.
though,
I mean, the way I
I
have
think
it put
Aviary
right
is just
now-
higher.
I
Yeah, the
think
way I
they're
have it right now
pack.
is 11 AP, 10 is Hell, 9 is ABO. That's
That's
what
what I
my
had.
current rankings look like.
yeah,
I
mine
would
looks pretty much the
But
same.
Aviary like 7 at least.
I don't
Because
know
Here's
about
the thing.
7.
Well, okay, you look
We
at
can-
it. Look at the schedule. Match day 1, it was against Hellfire, close game. In Go, match day 2, you beat Goshi,
Yeah, we beat
and then
Goshi.
3, 4, and 5, you lose to the top 3 teams.
That's
That
fine.
is
but see,
true.
but the only thing that I would say we
And
are
they weren't
maybe like
necessarily
I
blowouts.
would say we're maybe 9 or 8, but not as high as 7 because you round win percentage and the rounds won and lost
No,
only
no.
go so far.
Yeah,
I
but
think
right
I still look at the strength of schedule though, because like
I
after
think-
this, it's pretty easy teams relatively.
Yeah, I mean,
everyone's
here's the
got
way it
standout
seems.
games. Don't.
I think
don't go-
10,
I mean-
10 is Hellfire. 10 is Hellfire for me.
Yeah.
I think right now 9, 10, 11 we can argue all day on the order. We don't have all day sadly, but I do think 10 is Hellfire just because yes they beat AVI, but AVI has also proven that they got and beat Goshi, who we will have later on in the stuff. It's yes, it's the rock paper scissors thing, but it also proves that I think more than anything that there's gaps of like any of these teams could be anybody on any other day.
Well, I
and then
mean,
you
if
have a
2
team
Hellfire
that-
guys are saying that Aviary is above them, I mean, you can't really go based off.
I've got AVI
you just go
above
off
us
that.
as of
So
this very moment.
Yeah,
and let's put Hell at the 10, and I think AVI goes in the 9. I think this is.
Yeah, I agree with
my-
you.
Yep. I think, and then
To be honest,
who's-
I know
now
who I'm
we're-
putting at 8.
I mean,
I
I
know who
kind of,
I'm putting Nan.
think
I've
Nan.
got 18. I've got 18.
Nan.
Ooh,
I think I put personally because I put ATL above. I think I put ATL at 7 and Nan at 8 only because right. Nan has come back and won 2 games in a row against teams going in clearly better, right?
Yeah, they're
Beating
punching above their
Spaghettis
weight.
in a pretty good deficit, 5 rounds is pretty decent, especially on CS2, right?
Yeah.
I think tonight's game, the Mirage, having a 3-round deficit, maybe not as close as they wanted, but they're showing the difference of what a change can make in a roster spot.
And
Right.
also
beat
that Mirage game is the first Mirage games in recruit for the whole season. That's the first Mirage game that's been played.
I
Yeah,
hope
I
I
mean,
get a Mirage game.
I think people ever since they dropped Bismal and they picked up Telecom. I feel like people were like, okay, it feels like a lateral move, and it when looking at it, it does feel like a lateral move. But Nan obviously picked up somebody who either is a lot better or is making that team gel better, and it's working for him. I definitely put Nan here at 8.
Yeah, I mean you can't discredit them coming in, making a switch, and then they win 2 games back to back.
I will say, you said, and I know this might be getting ahead of it, but you said ATL at 7.
I do think I put
I
ATL
personally
7.
disagree, but we will get to that in a moment.
See, this
Okay.
hurts me because I had the new look nades a lot higher up on my list. Just
You
because
put them at 1.
I mean,
I put them at 3 because of how fast they turn around, and
I will say,
they killed UPS.
I mean,
the other day.
they did get UPS.
Yeah, but we don't know what their map pool is, right? I mean,
That's-
like,
yeah,
you
that
gotta
too.
think that is Spaghettis have come in, right? Let's look at the match that they played. They played an overpass. They played another overpass. Then they played one ancient, which they 13-1 Cal. You're gonna have good ancient against Cal.
yeah, you're
Right.
gonna just beat Cow in
And
general.
then they
You're
lose
gonna
their
beat
ancient, and then they play an Anubis. So they probably went into the Nan game, in my opinion, probably pretty overconfident, and I think Nan
and
was able to take
underestimating
advantage.
Nan.
I think Nan was able to take advantage of that, but I don't think that then means Nan is
They
at
shoot
a
up to 3. No,
I think
it
I
proves
think they're
that-
still a solid team. I think next week or this Thursday is going to be a good game for them, depending on how they take it out.
I think, in my opinion, we're talking about Nan here. A lot of people, especially just after they pick up Telecom, they're looking at it like it's Nan still. Nan's Nan. And obviously that's not true. Nan is improving, and good on him. I do want to talk about, because you put down the Harpies at 7, and I completely disagree, because I feel like there's a team still under Harpies, has the same current run as Nade stack, same, what's it called? Record as Nade. Same record as Nade, and that's the Tanukis. I personally think Tanukis go at 7.
They beat you guys last week.
Yeah.
And Tanuki's also lost today.
Yeah.
13-5. I don't think
To a 3-0 team.
Yeah, sure. But also, here's the thing. Yes, they beat us match day 4. Match day 4, once again, we're still trying to find somebody to fill a long-term hole, and we're still without Crash.
That's why we're
Crash is the highest.
Is that
Crash
match
is
day
the
4
highest.
without Crash?
Yes, Crash has been out for the past 2 match days.
Okay,
Okay.
but these are like current power rankings. So currently, without
Yes.
Crash and without you guys are worse than.
And we
FC.
get Crash back this Thursday.
Well, then this
we are
Thursday,
not-
the
yeah,
rankings
but
will change.
that's for Thursday. That's not
Yeah.
tonight.
But
As
here's
of,
the thing, though.
That's the difference.
So, yes,
as of
but
right
also
now,
tonight.
12:52 EST on October 18th, YC is better than you guys.
No, they're not. They're
Yes.
2 and 3.
No,
we are
no,
3 and 2.
no. Because here's the thing. This is power rankings for tonight. This is not predictions in the future. This is not whatever.
Why the fuck are we
This
caring
is
about match day
how-
4 when we didn't do match day 4 power rankings? If we did match day 4, I'd be fine with Tanukis, but we aren't
Okay.
talking about today. Which
Okay.
Tanukis is 2 and 3, and we're 3 and 2.
Okay.
Okay, then let's just
yeah.
we'll switch them. It's okay. Let's do Harpies at 6. I think that's a solid spot, and YC at 7. I think that both are interchangeable, right? And we can go on and on about how they really do stack up. But if you do just look at after the results of match day 5, Tanuki's lost, and Cal won, or not Cal, sorry, ATL won.
ETL beat Cow.
I know, but see, in my opinion, right?
He had a bit of a brain fart.
If I don't know, I mean, I think that it could go either way. I mean, in my opinion, I think should show that ATL was able to have Cal bring 8 rounds out of them in the first place. That should probably show a little something, especially on a map like Ancient. Like They just got 13-1 on, so they probably didn't have a very strong ancient. But this
Yes,
goes
but that's
to,
also against a team at the time where we had them at the top of the tier list.
but
Let's not act
regardless,
like
I think that they
there
are
is a
both.
difference between top 3 and like 6th. There is a big difference there.
I agree. I think that Harpies and Tanukis could go either way, but for the sake of if you just look at how it ended today, I'm okay with putting Harpies over Tanukis.
Yeah, and then
Fifth. This is
But then
think
do you
the
where
want to
best
look
part
at
is-
match day 4 and talk about how Tanukis beat them 13-10?
That
I
was
know,
last
but
yeah, we
that's-
week.
can. We
that's
can
the
also
point,
talk
is
about
that-
how there's different subs between match day 4 and match day 5.
Yeah.
I will say I don't think that there is any question on who goes into number 5, in my opinion.
Should
I
be
think
FRG
that-
by logic.
I would actually say I think it would be, Frog. I was gonna say it's either, in my opinion, it's between Frog.
You're
or
saying
Sav.
Frog goes 5?
I think it's either Frog or Sav.
I
Right.
personally think Sav. I personally
think
Sav.
Sav-
And we can make the
Sav.
argument of
Sav.
they beat ATL, but Sav also is missing a game, and in which case, no offense to Sav, I think AP can win that game. I
Well,
think
if
AP
we're-
legitimately can come out and beat Sav. I think
we're
Sav right
going-
now is on a hot streak. Obviously, hot streaks can't last forever. I think Sav at some point is going to crash back down to earth.
If we're
Mhm.
going by the ATL won and YC lost, then FRG would be below Sav.
Yeah, because Frog lost to Goshi 13-11. Granted,
Yeah.
that's all 24 rounds. That's a
Yeah, it
very
was a
close
good-ass
game.
It was a really
And
good
then-
13-11. I mean, we forget that 13-11 it's basically like a 14-16.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
exactly what it
it's
is.
a great stat line. I don't think Tadpole drops from what was it, 3 to 5.
No.
Well, then if
no.
Tadpole doesn't drop, then you should
Then
be
you guys
below
should
I
be
Tanuki.
do-
No, I'm not saying
Yeah.
they drop.
I do
they
think-
don't drop. I'm saying they don't drop that far.
Well,
Yeah,
then
I
they go
do
to
think
four.
they
Goshi.
drop to fourth.
Yes, I think
think
they dropped to 4.
Well, then
I
OS
think
should
it's
be 3.
Servals, then Goshi, or not Goshi. Servals and then Tadpole.
I
Yeah.
think one of the 2 undefeated teams should be a little higher up.
Well, there's only one.
There's
There's only one
undefeated
undefeated
team.
team left.
I mean, and we can
I'm-
just go ahead and fill out one right now. and
Spaghetti's
then
lost,
Let's
Tadpole
just do
lost.
that
They're
really
both.
quick.
I forget. I keep
Just
basing my
super
power
quick.
rankings off CS2 alone, not CS:GO.
Yeah, I
I mean,
gotcha.
really quick, really quick. Let's just go ahead and do it. Put Mist at 1. They're the only undefeated team in CS
Yeah.
Group
Yes.
2 right
Yeah,
now.
I
Just
got
throw
you.
them up at 1 because we can all agree that the undefeated team is not going below 1. If you do, you're a fucking madman and deserve to be put in the side.
I think just under the fact that they haven't dropped a game, but if you really look at their schedule,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
here's also
they-
my thing. And I just want to have this conversation since we're talking about Mist. We spoke before about, I think it was match day 2 or 3. We had the conversation about we really need to have a sit down conversation if they play again on Vertigo. That maybe we should just, and this is to every IGL out there, Noah included. If you are currently listening to this podcast, why the fuck are we letting Wet get onto Vertigo again? We
'Cause
broke
it's
this
not
for
strong.
1 week. No, for 1 week. 1 week we got them off of Vertigo, and we saw a good match. But we keep bringing Mist back to fucking Vertigo, boys.
I promise you, Enders, and I always say this, and this is probably what Colin was thinking. I mean, demos have been down, but when they were not down, because you can still go watch the CS:GO demos, and if anything, that's still probably better. Yes, they are now 3-0 on Vertigo, but they are not doing anything special. I promise you that. It really does just come down to that some people have on days, some people have off days. I think the benefit of Mist, right, and I think what is making them get these wins, right, is that they have a lot of strong players on their team, and that if one is lacking, the other one can frag. But in my also personal opinion, they had 2 of the basically easiest teams to play in match day 1 and 2. Your confidence goes through the roof when you are a 2-0 team, right? And I think that has
Yeah.
been carrying them through the matches. And I think that eventually, because in my opinion, I think Matt, I know we're talking future here, but I think Thursday's match, I think it's a loss for them. And I think that I think it's gonna be a little shakeup in the tier. But we're talking in the future now. So
Yeah.
But
Before
I think-
say-
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Colin.
Before I say this, I'm not trying to discredit Miss because they did whoop our ass tonight. But on T side, they literally just ran it down mid every round.
Yeah.
Like Noah just said, they're a good team. Like they had the firepower, and that's what won them that game. But like you said, they do not do enough special stuff to be tricked on Vertigo.
No, and I
shied
think-
away on Vertigo. I
I
feel like if they
think
go
there
on
are
any other map,
teams-
that firepower is just it's gonna.
Yeah,
still
I think
come
there are
no matter what
legitimately
map.
I mean,
teams that is
like-
going to cause them problems on Vertigo. But there are certain teams that they've been playing. Like we can go to match day 2. It's the first match day of CS2. Nan should not have let them go to Vertigo. Fucking
Yeah, but see,
match
I
day
think Nan doesn't
3.
know.
But Nan thought they shouldn't. They shouldn't have.
But Mist though still can be weak on
Mist-
other maps.
ABI taking Mist to Ancient, fucking smart. Fucking Mist going to Anubis obviously worked out. Hellfire going to Vertigo once again. It doesn't seem. I think there are 4 or 5 teams have a great shot of just taking Mist to Vertigo and abusing the fuck out of them. Any of the teams that have played, I don't think it was the correct decision. I feel like there were probably 2 or 3 maps better that they probably could have taken them to.
I will say, because we are kind of talking about the future of their schedules, right? I think that Miss next 3 sets of games.
Who they
it's
play
gonna
next, right?
So their next game is gonna be Frog, which in my opinion, I think that
That's going to be a fucking battle, and
I think Mist loses that.
Vertigo.
The next team after that is UPS, another really hard team. Next team after that is AP, and if Colty drops another fucking 40 bomb, then it's a tough game. But what I'm saying is that teams should not shy away, and this is just general sense for the season. Yes, teams can be good on one map, but there's so many variables that go into it.
Yes,
Like,
and I agree. That's why I said I
So-
think 5 or 6 teams have a great shot at taking and abusing Mist on Vertigo.
Yeah,
I think the teams that so far have let them pick into Vertigo have not made the correct pick ban decision.
I agree with that, and I mean,
At least post match day 1. No shot to Hellfire. I don't think Hellfire. Colin can go
Thank you.
sit. Colin, you can sit fucking headshot B all you want. It didn't. It's not going to work against people who rush mid.
Yeah, I know, but it takes away a
fucking-
bomb site, which is nice.
It does, which
Yeah,
is
but
nice.
if you
but
still
also,
know the util, it doesn't matter.
it does. But like we've said, and I've
That's
said this
okay.
before
Pushes
to
you off.
Colin, you can if you can throw the util to get Colin off, it doesn't matter. But
Trust me.
also,
I don't mean to sound cocky, but no one throws the util.
and Colin ain't
I
moving
throw
anyway.
it, you don't.
I am moving anyway.
Colin
I'm
would rather
moving-
die to the
I'm-
fire. He would rather die to the fire than move
No,
off that
I
fucking
literally, I'll just move around it. I'll find a way around it. It's like walking through.
But
a
my
playground.
point remains: there are certain teams I feel confident in beating this. ATO, I feel like ATO has a great plan if they go against them on Bert. I think AVI is a good team against them on Vert. I think fucking UPS, Tadpole are great teams against them on Vert. Fucking Acolytes, not the greatest decision. Could have worked, but obviously it didn't.
I think that we'll just I think that for the sake of match day 5, right? We put them at this number 1 because they are the only team that
Undefeated.
has not dropped, right? But I think match day 6, if there's a shakeup, we talk about it because I think that there is.
I think there is going to be a
sense that can
shakeup.
So
I
If
would
you
have
can
loved
get them
to
to
have seen-
Inferno, you could cut them off B side on their, or B site on their T side. From
Once
experiencing
again-
my scrim with them today.
Yeah, I mean the thing is if we
They
get
had
them on a different
completely
map,
different play style for it than what
Yeah, like
we
I-
did on Aviary.
like I was saying, I think they have more teams that they can lose to if their map pool is widened. But on Vertigo, it feels like there's 4, 5, 6 teams that have a great shot at whooping Miss ass on Vertigo. They have not played any of those teams on Vertigo yet,
all right.
which is a
So-
shame.
So I think then, so to kind of recap, so our number 4 we were putting Frog, right?
Yep. I don't think
And-
Frog drops much lower. I think once again we keep, and I know match day 1 we had the meme. We had a heavy memes on Nan. Match day 2 we had heavy memes on Nan. But Nan has obviously improved quite a bit with one move, which tells you quite a bit that either Bismal was not the right vibe, the right fit, or Tillicum has come in and said, "Fuck it, gig on the table. We're changing everything. We're
The
doing
big
this to win.
dick Marty cucks all of Texas.
Bro
Fuck
dropped
you,
it.
Oklahoma. You're
Bro
next.
walked into the locker room, dropped it on the bench, and said, "Look here, boys, we're fucking winning the rest of the season." One of those two things has happened, or it could be both.
It could be both.
It just depends on how you look at it. Obviously, Tillicum has made a big improvement. You know, we see that with Nan jumping from 11 to 8 in 2 match days. I think, honestly, if we had done something match day 4, I would have been down to put Nan at like 7 because they beat the former number ones. If we'd done match day 4, I would have advocated for Nan to jump way higher. But that's reactionary.
I will
So
say
I guess
this.
here we go, top 3.
This 2 and
Goshi
3 can go either way, in my personal opinion.
I think they do go either or. Honestly,
I think I put Goshi 3.
That's
Goshi
what
3.
I was gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna put Goshi.
But you know,
3.
if you really look at it, I think Colin and I both get a little sense there. In my opinion, if you really look at it, okay, and this is the thing. Yes, they won tonight. Okay.
Yep.
2 of their games for UPS have been just blowouts.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is why I put Spaghetti at 2, personally.
But that's what I put. I put Spaghetti 2, Goshi 3.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. I mean, Goshi is obviously not top 1 material. We've seen them be beaten. They're not invincible like we thought match day 1. They've kind of shifted a lot over the power rankings because of that. Goshi here though, proving that they can come back and win. Obviously today they had they had subbing for them was Young Robot, who obviously knows Hector's system pretty fucking well, seeing as he played for them last season.
Yeah.
I think Spaghetti's their only losses against the team, let's be honest here, everybody was coming in and being like, oh, it's still Nan. So everybody was kind of underestimating. I don't want to talk on Spaghetti.
Yeah. I
don't want everybody to just immediately think Nan or think Spaghetti was under what's it called?
Underperforming.
They were not fuck.
They were overconfident.
Yeah, they were overconfident because it was Nan. And obviously we see now that Nan with 1 change has changed quite a bit.
Yeah, they thought they could come in. Yeah.
I think you go in, you're going into that match day 4, right? After just 13 winning count on Ancient. And then you're getting to play another map that you just absolutely demolished a team. But yeah, you're going to play overconfidently. I mean, you put that in any team's position.
You're also going to underestimate Nan of all teams. I can tell you right now, Nan changed. Good on them.
Well, exactly. They were going in the game 0-3 as well, right? So
yeah, so you're gonna underestimate them, especially because, like I've been saying, at least my thought process. Well, it's still Nan. It's not gonna change much. They still. It's not like it was one fix, and obviously, as we can see, maybe it just was one change fixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how the season goes. See what they can pull out tomorrow. I think tomorrow they play ATL tomorrow, so we'll have to see where they end up.
Yep, yeah. I think they're playing against ATL. I mean, I'd say that's close. I can't
there's
call
there's a lot of shakeups that can happen in Thursday's game.
Yeah,
a lot of teams that are on the table.
I can tell you, I've said, because they play us, or when I say us, it's still my team. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not invested in ATL. Like I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh yeah, I can give a fuck about ATL. Those are still my guys, and I still feel emotional about them winning and losing. You know, I feel like those 2 losses were on me because I wasn't there. I shoulder a lot of that on my weight. You know, I feel like if I was there, maybe that changes. Even not even based on performance wise, but just based on maybe I bring us mentally back. So yeah, those 2 losses do suck for me because I have to sit here injured, unable to do anything, and just be like, fuck, what could have changed?
Yeah, it's a tough position. Every time there's a sub, and especially as the season goes on, right? And I think that's what's going to hurt most enders. But you can still help, and I know that you probably are, and I know that your team knows that. But
Yeah,
as the
I
season
mean,
progresses, it's just gonna.
like I've been trying my best to be able to be around and be hype. Obviously, I wasn't able to. Last match day, I just mentally was checked out. I was so fucking exhausted. Match day 3, I was in there trying to hype him up. Match day 4, I was in there fucking trying to talk to him post match, trying to figure out some stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm still around the team, still trying to be around them because they're still my guys. And I'm still gonna fucking rock with them, win or lose.
Absolutely.
Any other big news coming out?
Any other
So we
big
had,
news in Recruit at all?
I mean, we had the announcement now of Hellfire. Hellfire just gets all their shit leaked on Weekly Recruit. I mean, it's swear to God, we have inside sources.
Hey, man.
I mean, we quite literally have inside sources, given that the both times it's happened,
am
they've
the
both
Ryan-
been here.
I mean, somehow Yin dropped the Nan info on the Bashi Bins pickup.
Yeah, technically though, it's not official because
No, it wasn't.
I am still on my temporary
rumored.
contract from UPS, but
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully by the
but I
time
mean,
Yeah, by the
we're
time
sitting.
this gets up, hopefully.
We'll be fine.
everything will go through, or you're gonna have to wait to upload it.
Not
So,
even that.
I mean,
it's gonna happen.
No,
matter
we're not
what.
gonna wait. What
The
you
dude,
mean?
the dude
It
we
doesn't
cut
really
out- the dude we
matter.
cut's already been messaged. He already
Mhm.
knows, so everything's
No,
fine.
okay.
Yeah. So, Colin, obviously, you're playing op this season. You
Yeah.
played a bit of op and a bit of lurk in the combines. I gotta ask, now that your role is more defined as an opper, has much changed? You're playing less lurk. Kind of what's going on with that?
Well, when CS2 kind of came out, I was having a tough time using the op. I just thought I sucked at it, but in reality, I was playing on 60 FPS. And my
Oh
settings
my
were-
god.
Oh my
I will say-
god, my poor
I
man.
will say,
Okay, I just gotta say, if I sat down with our contender opper tonight, Zims, and he had some new settings for me, and we were going through my settings. He's like, Colin, why are you on 60 FPS? I'm like, what do you mean?
why are
He goes,
you locked?
He goes, your refresh rate is set to 60 hertz. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I literally just tonight before my match changed all my settings to maximum. So
There you go.
But
Yeah, I mean,
I have
The op is back, baby.
I have been using the AK a
He's
lot more than
coming.
I thought I was going to this season, and honestly, I'm liking it a lot. So, but
I mean, I will say I heard from at least one other opera that the op just feels completely different
it does
from
like it,
CS:GO.
there's a few things you can do to like change it and just make it feel like CS:GO again, but you're never. It's like everybody knows you're not gonna get CS:GO feeling back. It's a new game. You gotta get used to it.
Yep.
Yeah, Noah, you
Yes.
obviously IGL'd and have changed quite a bit. How much has the swap to CS:GO affected mainly IGLing for you?
I'll be honest, and I think that I speak for most IGLs in this sense, but in terms of your strat calling, in terms of your defaults, that's the only similarity that the game shares, right? There are still some fundamentals of calling and how you play the game that will not change because the maps are the same. The only thing that throws a wrench in that is, especially when you have a new system, is that, and we've seen it now, there are lineups that did not exist in Go because of the skybox. Not having a skybox anymore basically opens up the potential to do so many different things, which then makes so many new ideas. But from a straight calling perspective, I mean, most of these teams out here are probably calling in very similar ways as they did on Go. It's just going to find your rhythm again, right? So timings are a little bit different. Maybe the T's don't come out on the exact second because spawns have changed, things like that. But for the most part, it's pretty similar, to be honest.
Brass, I mean, you kind of just play a rifle role. Has
Yes.
much changed for you on the change from CS:GO to CS2? Now you got a couple match days under your belt.
Yeah. I would say it has changed slightly, especially in how I'm playing, I guess. Obviously, jumping from team to team, roles have changed, so things have been different for me.
Oh, you're stuck now, buddy.
Yeah.
At least for 2
Um,
match days.
yeah. Yeah, because I won't be playing
2
this
match day
Thursday.
protection.
So you get to see me
Can you give
in.
us a scoop on why you're not playing this Thursday?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm going with my sister to see the
Oh,
Eras
I thought you
tour.
were hurt.
No, I'm
Oh.
watching the
I was
Eras tour
Robot.
movie for the second time.
Young Robot, if you're listening, Thursday, be ready. We need you.
I guess I can kind of talk about ATL and how IR is kind of changing. I mean, we're still looking for my replacement. We have a good candidate, a couple good candidates in mind. We had at least like 2 or 3 until somebody got picked up by a certain fucking team live on air.
Stinky.
But I mean, to be fair, we're looking at that. We're looking at all our options. I mean, it's very difficult when you lose the heart and soul of a team. No, once again, I have to say this: I'm shit at the game. Don't mean it in a play style wise. I mean in a hype, trying to keep the boys in it, keep the spirits up level.
Anders,
It's very hard
irreplaceable.
to. I am very replaceable skill wise. My output is very replaceable. It's very hard to replace the intangibles for
That's what
a
I'm
hype
saying.
man.
And I think
That
it's probably
that is
something
very
about
hard to
with me as well, because
I mean,
my aim was not well playing with you guys in Aviary. But
Stop
I wasn't
dogging on
cocky.
your aim.
Well, I mean, after today, I mean, maybe things change.
but I mean
I
that's
told
kind
you.
of
I'm not a toxic person, so that's not why I'm getting kicked off teams.
yeah. I mean
It's
that is the thing that you kind of have to look at. Of a lot of the times, it's very hard to replace the intangibles of a player that goes on IR. It's not hard for them to find somebody probably better than me skill wise. It's very hard to find somebody with the intangibles of hyping up the team wise. It's very hard to do that, and that's something we just have to kind of hope for and pray for that we get.
I will say another thing for
And
you, Enders, is especially with ATL. I mean, they really didn't have it last season because most of the guys were able to kind of stick around throughout the season. But the further that this season goes on and keeping the subs coming in and out of the team, it's gonna be very difficult to
yeah, I mean
play for
that's
the rest.
something that we're hoping, and I think that's the only reason why I'm not on IR still is we're still looking for that. And once we find that long-term solution, hopefully we can get that fixed up, and that'll be fixed with ATL, and hopefully they can move on and keep us in the playoffs. Because I guess I can give the update of I'm hoping. So my current injury timeline is 6 to 8 weeks. We're hoping I can be good in 4 or 5. Spoke to my doctor post surgery. He said it's normal for it to take 6 to 8. He said I've seen people heal for it and be able to move it enough in 4 to 5, but that's abnormal. So I'm hoping I can be the abnormality and be back 4 to 5 weeks, and
gotta
hopefully
pull
be
the
back
Aaron
in time
Rodgers.
for. I mean, passionate ayahuasca,
Come back
bro.
within
Fuck it.
a month.
I mean, the thing is, if I can be back in 4 to 6 weeks with enough, I don't need it to be like flick movements. I need to be able to adjust on a keyboard and to be able to move it enough to where I can, move in game. And I'm hoping I'm back in 4 to 8, 4 to 5 weeks so I can come back for playoff time.
Right.
I'm hoping I'm back for playoffs or the last bit of the season. Because I mean, even if I'm cut by that point, I think I can still be picked up. Transaction deadline is just in between teams.
I don't think that you'll be cut, Enders. You would probably just go on IR because
they're probably just going to put me on
IR.
But I mean, like I said, hopefully I can come back with enough time to be able to play the last bit of the season. I want to be able to prove why going into next season, if I say they decide that like, okay, we're just going to cut everybody in ATL, that I can prove to another team of like, hey, look, here's why to pick me up. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I really want to play with my boy Clancy next season. Whether he wants to play with me or not is fine. I've made some friends in here. I think it doesn't matter who I end up playing with. I think I can find a couple buddies I can vibe with.
Absolutely, that's the beauty of CSC. You find friends where you go.
Yeah, I still want to play with Clancy though.
That does bring up one
You furry
question though.
fuck.
It's that a lot of us are making friends here in recruit, but what are they going to do without stats about the All-Star game and people getting?
So I'll tell you, I will answer that. So all of the GMs, when you are sending your score reporting, when you're taking your screenshots after the matches, those are being sent to the GMs, which is why Clancy, you need to stay in the games.
What? Oh, right, yeah.
Because when you're sending those score reports for your GM, basically towards the end of the season, numbers is going to manually enter all of those stats. Now the only thing that's going to be different is going to be there's not going to be the detailed stats like we had in combines where it shows your trade percentage, things like that. It's going to be very basic, just what you would see on those on the tab screen, right? So kills, death, assists, util damage,
ADR.
flashes, right?
Gotcha.
So in terms of the All-Star Colin, I really don't know what they're going to do. I will say I think that they're probably I don't know.
Sit down and talk and take
kind of figure it out, right?
They'll just do their GM stuff.
But in terms of moving, I think that they're probably going to lean more towards just having it be a fresh slate for combines. I mean, you're going to have how you played in the season, but I don't think that they can really get accurate numbers without all the other information that you get from stats.
Yeah, and I'm hoping by next season they have that all stuff figured out because it is really cool to see all like the numbers and stuff like that for combines.
Yeah,
it's one of the cooler parts of CSC.
I mean, you have to think this off season's massive. It basically goes till next year. The off season will, so they should have plenty of time to figure all that out, get all the stats and stuff. It's also going to be a long off season, so it means we're going to get a lot of people.
It goes till January.
A lot of new people in.
Damn.
So the off season is going to be a long ass off season. I mean, considering it was like 2-3 week turnaround for
CSC
this season. I mean, I'm gonna be grinding through Christmas. I don't give a fuck. I gotta make the time.
I know, but that's why they're doing it. Is because holidays.
I will say
that's why we should have just stuck with CS:GO, and then just we get the extra break for.
But see, I'm gonna be honest. I know that you guys already talked about it. I think it was match day 2 when you talked about it.
Yeah.
Now that we've had 4 match days under CS2, I think that there's just the benefit of moving to CS2 is that you have all the other support that no one really thought about with CS:GO. Is that if we would have stayed on Go, the only way that you could practice Go is through homemade servers and having other teams on to do in-house scrims, right?
Yeah.
And that's very difficult to set those timings up because you don't have the support for Faceit. You don't have the support for matchmaking. Yes, you could have done Faceit on Go, but if you've looked, there's like 2 players queuing for Faceit at like peak hour.
It would be a shit ton of
those 2 players are legends, man.
10 minutes. It'd be a shit ton of CSC.
So that's why I think moving to CS2, I think in my opinion they should have just made the break a little longer. But the issue is that the longer that you push the break, the closer to like Thanksgiving we get.
We're already going to It's already said that we're going to the week before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And I know I'm not going to be for Thanksgiving. So
the last match, with playoffs and everything, if we keep it how it is, would be November the 21st.
Which is, I think, 5 days before Thanksgiving?
4 days.
4 days. Yeah, so it's a real fucking close one.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So it's like, the more that we push it back, the more that it's just going to impede longer. And then you're going to either have to reschedule a bunch of games.
You're going to have a bunch of games in the beginning of December after 2 weeks off.
Or I did see that they did just post doubleheader poll for match days. So we'll have to see how we make that up.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that kind of sucks is that because the CS2 move and everything. And obviously, we moved a lot quicker than other leagues and stuff, such as like fucking IEM. This is the first CS2 LAN event. I mean, ESL or ESE Pro League, I think, was still on fucking
Yeah, it was still on
go for a bit. It's now moving to CS2. So yes, we moved a bit quicker than everybody else, but also we're not those people who have direct lines of communication to Valve. You know?
Exactly. This is all people who volunteer and do this, and we were still able to play, which is crazy.
Wait, we're not getting paid?
We're not
Wait,
getting
you are
paid?
getting paid?
Wait,
You're
y'all are
not
getting
getting
paid?
the single Paris capsule at the end of this?
No,
I
y'all ain't
do-
getting the free
The whole
dinners.
30 cents?
Bro, my GM ordered me pizza every match day. The fuck? I just had to go walk and pick
That'd
it
be
up.
base. That'd be
I can give out a couple
that'd be
Prisma
great if
cases.
Hawkish could like give us pizza every time we win.
Well, last season we got chips every day, or chips every win.
What the fuck,
God,
bro? What the fuck is
what,
this down?
do they just PayPal you $2 to go run to the store and get a bag of chips?
No, it was just an insider thing. I know no one else is going to listen to this. That was on the team last season, but basically, our captain at the time, every time we would win, he'd be like, "Oh, I can finally get my chippies," because he would always buy the same bag of chips, and then he would eat them if we won, and if we lost, he wouldn't get his
Just
chips.
stare at him.
I should probably ask, are we still recording? Was I told to stop recording? Because this is all
No.
on tape.
No, but you can now.
Okay. I mean, you're gonna
So,
end
I
it
mean,
on
Brash,
chippies.
you weren't here for the beginning bit of if are you going to IEM Dallas? Brash?
Who's going to IM
Oh,
Dallas?
no.
Raise your hands.
I can't travel that far.
I will, but I have to think about how the fuck I'm gonna do that.
I'm probably gonna go to Philadelphia in Chicago,
Chicago.
though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how it's called Philadelphia and it's in Chicago.
Well, usually it's in Philadelphia, but this time,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, it's gonna be.
My
in
thing
Chicago,
is,
which
I'm
pretty
thinking
cool.
about going, but like I don't want to fucking the hotel room by itself is fucking expensive.
Yeah, that's the.
So
yeah.
I've already said it. Unless I got a couple boys to rent an Airbnb, I'm
That's
probably
still stupid.
I think
expensive nowadays and
Airbnbs
stuff,
are
but-
even more expensive than some hotels.
no because
No,
Airbnb.
Yeah.
is
Yeah, nowadays,
Find a
yes.
decent one.
Nowadays, yes.
yeah.
Because then there's all the fees,
I mean,
and then you still have to clean up and all that extra shit.
Okay,
And it's like,
yeah, with
it's
a
not worth
hotel,
it.
you just show up and you leave.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but like a like a 2-bed hotel, like even a 1-bed hotel, a 2-bed hotel might not be bad to share, but like fucking 1-bed hotel, I already checked.
Somebody
A
gets a
fucking
tub,
half decent
somebody
one,
gets the
a half
floor.
decent,
Somebody
a
gets a
half
chair.
decent one that isn't a Motel 6, like 30 miles from the venue, is like $900.
I'm just gonna go home after every day.
Where the fuck do you live, bro?
I
I'm gonna
live
drive.
southeast Wisconsin, not like super
Oh, I live in
southeast,
fucking
but
Ohio, so I would have
You're
to.
right.
it's like a 3-hour drive.
I would have to fly back to Ohio for every match day.
How close are you to UW Parkside? In Kenosha.
Okay, let's not dox ourselves. Hi, bye, guys.
Oh, you already stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No.
thought you already did.
Maps.
So you
No.
stopped on Chip.